Hello, right. Last one of this week, and I'm going to just do my hair quickly before we continue with the topic because I think I probably should change my hair up a little bit just for my own sake and for the sake of the topic. Still wet. There we go. And we're back. Right. High order, high decree, high rule. What are these things? What is it to be high anyway? And is this a new term? Don't think so. Is it anything to do with this? I've got the black string on again. And how can we do it? And what is it? Sort of stuff. I don't know, honestly. It's more of a question. I still don't know what this bird thing is, so string. Or even what it's called. So if you can tell me histories of this, anyone, if you're Native American or even Jewish, maybe. Someone apparently said that this is like a red string. I don't know if they're related. But yes, or maybe you're American, you're a Westerner or something. You can tell us all that sort of thing, which would be nice. But, right, and if you know about high order and high decree and all these sorts of things, because I feel like I've heard it in Western films, Oh, by high decree I do declare that this man shall be hung by the neck until dead, sort of thing. And potentially it's about taking positions of authority in situations where it calls to by order of people unified in the idea of the Most High sort of thing, maybe, and also to do with stars, and also to do with the sort of maybe not necessarily maybe like an anarchist philosophy. Well, I think it probably would tie in quite heavily, but obviously highness is something which is through pretty much all human societies. But some people might have been, like myself, and said, I only live by high law. I don't. I've just dropped myself in there a little bit. But people, there's a lot of people out there who will say, I've got a moral conscience myself. I don't need to be told what to do. As much as I'm open to opinion and as much as I'm open to things, because not all people, criminals. That's the thing. These criminals have been depicted as heroes in a lot of things, is because they are, and they're people who are willing to stand up to authority. And some people think, oh yeah, criminals are glorified. I'm going to be a bad person. I'm going to be a scumbag. Well, you don't fit in it, because you can't just assume that decent people don't exist, because they do, and quite a lot of the time they're criminals because they take a stand for people, and they do things. I mean, sure, they're not saints, not perfect, but that's where God comes in, and being high and stuff. But yeah, you can still be very much good and be an outlaw, sort of thing. Definitely. I mean, it's sort of the code in many ways. But I'm sort of answering my own question. There is very much code to these things. I think it's just through human application and general understanding in different communities. But in the outlaws that tend to be, I don't know, I'm not in any outlaw criminal organisations, and some of them can tend to be quite convoluted and dangerous. But if I was in one myself, I'd be a straightforward kind of person, because we'll come to that in another video. People. It's my truth. But yeah, back to the highness, high order, where that does lie anyway, and whether that's in or out of law, all in standing anyway. Some people, say I'll take a moral stand, and some things I think are amoral, and some things I think should be right, and this is how I live my life, and whether they're right or wrong, it's not technically up to them, because it's the idea of law, isn't it? You know, but it should be right, and it should be grounded and sounded, and I think that's where high order, high rule, and stuff is more. It's actually more literal than other laws, because you can't really make up laws. They just have to be like correct, sort of thing. And I think in the previous video we talked about potentially how I felt like if things are damaging, then they're sort of against natural law, which, I guess is sort of true. And I thought a really good example the other day, which really sort of addressed that, but I can't really quite remember. But anyway, highness. Let's get back to the highness, because I'm more interested in the law part. The law part's quite scary. But yeah, highness is great, and it's got its good attributes as well. And also in these communities, certain communities, especially in vampire communities, shouldn't call them vampires, because they are sort of sires and stuff. They refer to each other as sire. You see this sort of the servant and the master and all these sorts of things. And now people will think, oh yeah, that means that he's picking on that person. But no, that's out of reverence, respect. And vampires are supposed to classically also be servants, and that is the relationship is between sir and sire. That's how people flourish. If you are basically a slaver, you're a parasite. You're not a high lord or anything. You're not a sire. You're nothing. You're just acting, pretty much, because there is an order, and there is a mindset, and that's where knowledge actually comes from. You don't learn these things. You have to understand them. There's mysticism to all these stuff, which is why people get high. That's why people get high, and it's great as well. So as a bit of redemption here for you people, if you've seen this stuff and you go, this is actually like this looks amazing, then yeah, it's even better than you think, and you can still have all that stuff that you like, because they are characteristically the good stuff. But the point is, it's about actually attaining these things and being masters of the darkness. It's not about having the darkness take control of you. It's about you being in control of the darkness. And I don't know how strong I am in that respect these days, because it's quite deadly and dangerous. There's a lot of darkness in that, but yes, it's brilliant, and I don't know, you'll love it. You'll love it. Come in, come on in. Brilliant. But yeah, and it can be quite funny and maddening as well, because humor is its own thing. These things exist without us. So if you want to explore these things and you don't just want to be boring memesters or whatever, because I'm not honestly a fan. I don't know if you know me, you know I like to be original. And when I was a child, people used to call me Mr. Original, because I get so annoyed at trying to be just, I think we talked about this in the skunk episode, trying to be my own person, and then finding out it's like a thing, or the thing, then people start doing it, and I'm like, oh damn it, I've got to change it again. Then there's like the whole hipsters thing and everything, all of it, pretty much. I was never a hipster. What do people call me about that point? I don't know. They did call me some other slur at the time. I think it was metal at some point. At that point. But anyway, I don't know. I think all like dubstep, maybe. I think. Oh yeah, dubstep was one. Dubstep was pretty cool, and then that became ruined. I was like, oh, what? It's a shame. I really like dub and techno and stuff, and like and sound engineering. And they love the Most High, Jesus Christ, and getting high, and all these sorts of things, and sires, and all these sorts of things. And just stay true, guys. Stay true, everyone who likes this stuff, and the Dark Order, I guess, the Black Order. Anyway, I don't call it Dark Order; it's the Black Order, I guess. Because it is the best, still the best. Yeah. And originality is key, and it always was key as well. Copying was never, in my eyes, I've never really respected it. But, I mean, you can do it. If that's how you learn, that's how you learn. It's good for you. But personally, I like originality because it brings more to the table for everyone. It's more interesting. And you can explore that people. And also, if you start doing stuff because you don't really know what you're doing, and trying to earn titles which you don't necessarily deserve, that can ruffle feathers amongst certain communities. But yes, High Order, Hyrule is interesting, and only exists. Don't know. I guess is what I'm saying. Is that it does exist. Whether or not it's actually been coined as this before, I don't know. But maybe it's something that you'd like to have in your life. And you go into a bar, you see a man with 2 sleeves in his arms, and you know exactly what you're getting into, and you don't even need to say anything. And or maybe you don't even know, and suddenly everything still makes sense, some sort of way, and suddenly westerns become humorous or something. Interesting, and a delight, I guess. Delight. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. It seems to be what it is, and let's not focus too much on them stringing people up. I'm just, if we'll fact check this, we'll find out what this is all about, and then maybe we don't start doing it, because don't all get done. So yeah, that's right. I'm an outlaw or something. No, that's what it means, guys. It means I'm a bartender. Okay, but yeah, I don't know. It might be a title. There might be significance to 1 and 2, like like a doctor and a houseman. All these titles, which you might actually find out yourselves that you're in families with titles like names and stuff, and maybe your name means something, because I'm quite interested in name meanings, all these sorts of good things, and yeah, brilliance, really. That's what I like, and women as well, and men, guys, kids, all these sorts of things. Yeah. So yeah, more power to you, and yeah, sort it out, I guess. Or something like that. But yeah, beautiful, lovely. We might come back to this topic. This is just the opening, I guess, of this topic. And thank you for this week's instalment of episodes. And hopefully you've enjoyed it. And maybe it's a turn of a new start, but figure out what I've got to do for the rest of the day. I think I'm meeting somebody potentially later. Probably put some food on. And yeah, thanks be to God. For all His greatness and glory. Yeah, the glory and the power is yours now forever. And good stuff. And yeah, I do love that stuff, honestly. And yeah, don't know. Was I talking about memes earlier? How they're awful? They're not awful. Something quite funny, but it might be a bit lost. But I don't know. Do you like? But we will probably start cropping up again. The good ones, anyway. So probably better figure out what you're doing, I guess. Yes. Okay. And be good as well, please. Thanks.